Hello there everyone and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. My name is Gord and today we are going to attempt to design an interplanetary ship. But first, I've updated to the latest version of Better Than Starting Manned, and there's a big change in this. I'll have to review all the science nodes and make sure I've purchased all the missing tech. But if you look right here, this chain of technologies now contains... Okay, apparently it doesn't tell you on every tech level, but these rocketry nodes are supposed to... One of these... Oh, here we are, this chain. There it is. 100. So the launch capacity is determined... Interesting. Okay, so it's the construction chain. Cool. Determines the size of the ships that you can build and launch off of the launch pads. If your ship exceeds... Okay, I already purchased the 1,000 ton launch capacity node. I didn't realize that. But you see... Oh yeah, there is the claw. Look at that. You were right. One of my viewers, I believe it was... I wish I had it sitting in front of me. Sorry. Suggested that I might have the claw available. Apparently I do. But as you can see, it's 1800 science, and I really don't have the science to get that right now. In fact, I'm not even sure there's enough science left in the entire Kerbal system to get it, so I'm going to have to go with some new stuff. So I needed to look. What do we have here? We have the skipper. We have the LV909 was suggested that it might be better for the interstellar missions than the engines I'm currently using. A different Rockomax engine and some of these side mount engines. I mean, with the technology I currently have, I can always go get enough science for another node in this easily enough. In fact, I could probably do that just by derping around with an airplane on Kerbal if I really needed to. So we're going to snag this and use the LV909 in our interstellar rig today. Yeah, I'm not even all that much short of another 360 science right now. Okay, so I'll be back in a moment once I double check all these nodes and make sure I have all the tech, that there hasn't been any other tweaks to the tech tree, and I will see you in the VAB. Alrighty, welcome back. And we are going to start designing this ship on camera. We're going to do some of the basic thoughts about this on camera, and then I'll switch out once I get to what might be a bit more boring. So this is intended to be a non-returning research mission. So that means a few very important things. I don't have to worry about bringing it back, which helps my fuel levels. I don't need to worry about detaching certain components to make it lighter for the return trip. So the uppermost stage, the uppermost fuel stage will be entirely one unit. I wonder if I could get away with a smaller tank of RCS. I am reluctant. Let me see. How many tanks of RCS? That's 0.95, 3.4. That might work better, using just 2 of those tanks and trying to be a little bit more frugal with my... I guess it's worth a shot. Okay, and then we're going to need the new component. I may snag that off of another ship, but this will allow us to attach a nice large number of solar panels, which I determined if I use just one grouping of solar panels on here, it would be enough to operate this particular basic science. On the other hand, if I use 2, that will pretty much ensure... Let's see. Too much overlap? No, not really. I'd still a bit worried about that. Whoops. Let's see. Alright, pull those off. We'll grab one more of the... So I'm just thinking here. There it is. 2, 3. We'll run this a little as close to the ship as we can, like so. And this, so if this is oriented right, it will be able to charge. I mean, 4 of these was enough to run. Sorry, the eight of these by themselves itself is enough to run a ship. It was enough to run the Minmus probe, for example. But the recharge rate was a little low. There we are. So it seems to me that the number that I used for the manned ship earlier, which is twice as many as this previous ship design had, should work a lot better. And we're going to do it this way so that I can then take these and anchor it directly. Actually, what might work better? Well, we'll see. Come on, where'd you go? There we are. You to there. Suppose I should have done that before I duplicated this. So, yeah. Better to do the anchoring part before. Let's see, there we are. It is sometimes really hard to get the orientation right on this, especially when you hit the wrong button when you're copying something. But that is that is twice the power I had on the any previous probe of this style. The reason I want to put that much on is because then I don't have to put as many batteries on to support this monster. Because that's the single most... Wait, not this monster. I meant this monster. There we go. Cheap to send, expensive to transmit. Oh, just 1 second. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I just better save this. This will be called Interplanetary Mark 1. For lack of a better name, you know me and my naming, or inability to come up with names that are more creative than that. 0.006, 0.005. So, let's see. Under an ideal world, I only have to add 2 of these, as opposed to 4. So we'll put on 2 of those, and then we'll put at 0.06, and then over here we'll put 2 of those, and then we'll put a 0.1 for a seismometer, 0.025, 0.1 for a gravioli. There we go. So we'll put 1 gravioli up there. The question is, am I actually going to try and... You know what? Let's not get over ambitious here. Let's... Yeah, let's not be silly. Gravioli is 0.1. We might be able to do this much more effectively. Like that. Gravioli right there. And then a thermometer with it over here. So 0.25, 0.05. So 0.25 plus 0.25 is 0.05. So if I put a second one of those over there with that, so all we have to do is go boop and a boop, like so, and that should provide enough balance. The center of mass should be pretty... I mean, this is a much larger ship than past versions, so fine print says that should be all we need on that front. Okay, So let me see. That's all the science packages. Electrical. Oh, batteries. So we do need the ability to store electricity because we are going to be occasionally going around the dark side of the planet. That's where 2 of those come in. And that should be, each one of those holding 3200 should be more than enough to transmit data combined with the output of these batteries. It just means I have to do the transmissions while I'm on the light side of the planet. This is my theory, right? Okay, so moving right along, it's time for the interstellar push part of this ship design. And that is going to be one of our 2 tanks. We're going to have, like usual, that is a tiny engine, holy smokes. Okay, that's not the one I thought it was. Okay, so the Poodle will be our workhorse, our long-distance workhorse, or possibly our braking engine. And we will put on, not that one, these ones. 6 of the LV909, my brand new engines. Come on. Will you get on there already? Apparently not. And see, my hope is that the hardest part about this now is going to be getting this structure into orbit. Now, if you look down here at the bottom, just before I forget to point it out to you, there's your indicator about how you're doing on the mass front. I have 68 tons of 1,000 tons of potential launch capacity. So I've got some space to work with here. So other than setting my there's that, and then this. I need to set my action groups for all of these scientific pieces of hardware up here. And then I'm going to design the lift portion of this thing. Oh, and we're definitely going to need RCS on the bottom of this stage. This will be our... And actually, now that I think about it, I'm going to rethink this. We do want to be able to kick those off if we don't need them. There we go. Hydraulic detachment manifold. Let's see, any difference? These are a lot lighter. All right. Let's hope that'll do the trick. Okay, and that gives me the ability to detach those if so that we can save some fuel, because I'm going to stage these separately from, oops, get that out of the way. There we go. Yeah, so we'll stage that separately from this. It'll definitely be staging those 2 separately. So this is hopefully going to be enough for an interstellar boost. I really have no idea. I may have over-designed this. I don't know. But I like the look of it. So I will see you guys once I have a lift rig designed for this monster. I'll see you on the flip side. So, welcome back. It's entirely conceivable I may have overdone the design of this ship, but I got enthusiastic. And if this fails, well, there's no Kerbal lives involved, and it could be absolutely hilarious. So I just need to do the one job that I seem to have forgotten yet again, which I should have done much earlier, which is setting these stupid action groups. Toggle the antenna just in case I need to. We'll go with 2 as temperature, 3 as pressure, 4 as gravioli, and 5 as surface imaging. Okay. Hopefully that will do the job. So without any further ado, let's throw this thing on the launch pad and see what happens. I've added these RCS just in case you guys are wondering. These tanks here are to supplement, and actually, the more I think about it... Okay, well, I've disabled these tanks up here. As you can see, these upper stage tanks are disabled so that they'll only be used when I don't have this lower stage attached. This may be wasted mass. Now, you might note I am very, very, very close to the limit. I am only 20 tons under the weight limit. So without any further ado, let's throw this thing on the launch pad, fire it up, and see how badly it explodes. I'm pretty sure it's solidly balanced, but you know how things are in this game sometimes. What is it called? Somebody called it the Kraken once. Oh, and by the way, this episode marks the triumphant return of Precise Node, which is kind of cool. Alright, launching in 3, 2, 1. Oh boy. Okay, those Rockomax engines, those are the mainsails, by the way. No, they're not. I thought those were meant to put main... Oh wait, keel hulls. I don't have mains. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think it might be too heavy. Just a hunch. These aren't the same. These are not the engines I thought I had. Okay, too heavy to fly. And completely lacking in... Alright, back to the drawing board. I'll be right back. And we are back with the Mark II. This time with 100% more solid booster action in the early stage here. And with with half as much fuel in the first stage. Let's see if this performs any better. Launching in 3, 2... Let's hope it flies well without its fins. Oh. What happened? That was weird. Alright. Something went wrong. Be right back. I nearly always wonder if I'm over-designing things. But, so I've rejiggered the central stage, 1 keel hull engine and 8 of the LVT-45s. The 3x3 rig down here, which I will add boosters, solid boosters to if they're not adequate. So, round 5. In 3, 2, 1. Lift off. And that is just enough. Beautiful. Beautiful. We'll give it a little more gas to start here. And we will drop it down once overheating starts. Yeah, there we go. The nice thing is, it looks like this is back to the basics. So we have a much larger stage to push us into orbit. And we're going to go for a very gentle early gravity turn here, but that is it. Of course, I don't have the extra RCS fuel on this stage, which is going to be an unfortunate oversight and may end this mission prematurely. In fact, let's end this mission prematurely, and let's actually make sure we have some RCS, because in all honesty, we just need enough to control the ship while it's going into orbit. We don't need a huge amount. These are on radial boosters, by the way, so I should be able to kick them off early. Of course, this inner part of the stage doesn't have RCS thrusters on it, but it can still provide monopropellant via small radially attachable monopropellant tank. Holds 40 monopropellant, so 8 of these right here should be enough to power this stage. And then we'll just tuck one extra set of engines right there. And that will give us enough to operate that thing. Now let me just make sure with all these various changes, my action groups are still in place. They are. Good. Round 6. This time I think I've got all my ducks in a row. That shouldn't have added enough mass to mess up the ability of this thing to fly. It's actually a lot lighter than my previous designs. It's only 780 tons instead of pushing 1,000. SAS on, launching in 3, 2, 1. Lift off. Here we go. And we have liftoff. So the only thing I haven't determined yet is exactly what I need to do to get to one of the other 2 planets. My instinct is Eve because I happen to have the offset between Kerbin and Eve memorized for an optimal orbit to get there. Departure time's another story entirely, but the departure time I do actually know off the top of my head. So we're tentatively targeting Eve. It's either Eve or Duna? Duna, I think it is. The Mars equivalent. So it's Venus or Mars, Duna or Eve. I think. Of course, you guys are going to be telling me I'm completely wrong about Duna. I'm pretty sure. Couldn't say. Pretty sure, couldn't say. Alright. So this is going well. This is going very well indeed. We'll give it just a bit more tip. We're trying to give ourselves a nice solid angle here. So I've heard the orbit I need to push into a high Kerbin orbit, somewhere around 200,000 for departing to interplanetary flights. Hopefully I have enough juice on this thing to do that. I mean, it should be doable. It's not as if I had trouble getting... Alright, a little over half a tank. We are well over halfway out of this lower atmosphere area. In fact, I need to slow down a bit, or I'm going to start risking ripping these all-important solar panels off my ship. Those G-forces and all, right? Alright. And we are still accelerating really fast here. Good. Still accelerating. This is the part I really have to watch. Those G-forces are nasty. Hopefully this is the part where the apoapsis actually starts getting ahead of me. Oh yeah, wait, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong numbers. That's my actuals. I'm more interested in this number right here. Just telling me how... Oh, here we go. Stage 2. There we go. Oh, nice. It's just about right on the nose power-wise, although I can probably give it just a little more juice now as we come up out of the lower atmosphere. Into the upper. Oh, RCS is on. This is what I installed those extra tanks for right there. And we're going for a high burn here. We are in an orbital burn, but we're going to keep going for a while longer. Though we could actually save a bit of fuel by doing some of that burn a little later. We need to go higher, though. Oh, we also need to start bringing up that poor old periapsis. And we will start at a 1 minute to apoapsis, our next burn. Because we want to push that apoapsis higher. There we go. But we are also bringing up the periapsis now, which is good. Whoa, 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 whoa. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Okay. So that engine's a little more prone to overheating, unfortunately. Oh, interesting. Which engine's burning faster? This inner engine is burning the fuel faster than the outer engines. That is really intriguing. 100,000 meters and rising. Alright, so note to self, this thing actually is... Well, hopefully it's not going to be adding so much mass that I have a problem. But that's interesting that it burned off all the fuel that quickly. On the bright side, we are still gaining altitude and orbit quickly. Alright, well we can full throttle that now. Definitely need to put more into our periapsis now. So we go to there. Alright, so that didn't exactly work the way I had expected and anticipated. Okay. We need to cut that. Wait until we are a little closer to that apoapsis to do our final burn, which is going to get rid of this uppermost stage. Oh boy, this is a iffy thing. Hopefully this rig as designed is powerful enough to do the job. I'm just going to do a little time warping here because that's actually a deceptively long time to be sitting here staring at this ship. Okay, and get that RCS over to where we need it. Alright. And let's burn up that periapsis. There we are. Okay. Coming up beautifully now. And we're just about to use up the fuel in this engine. There we go. Bring her up, bring her up, bring her up. So maybe just a little short on power for the orbital burn. I did not want to be using these engines for this job, is the honest truth. In fact, we're definitely just a little... It's okay, so it's just a little short on oomph, shall we say. And that keel hull actually burned through its fuel a lot faster than I anticipated, and I think that messed me up just a little. But here we go. We're definitely coming into orbit now. We definitely are not raising our... Oh, right, we need monopropellant. Low-powered monopropellant. Okay. Well, it's not going to be an optimal orbit, but I definitely need to examine the system. RCS off, SAS off. It's in orbit. Let's use some time to look at the solar system and decide where we're going to go. There's those asteroids they keep talking about. So it was supposed to be 60-degree angle to get to Eve, and I don't know the departure angle for Duna. It is Duna. And then we have Moho, Dres, oh boy, Ilu, very eccentric orbit there, and Joule. So now it's sunrise for one going one direction and sunset for going the other, and I can't remember which, but I think so. That side is taking my apoapsis out, departing from there. So it stands to reason that if I burn on the other side of the planet, so it's supposed to be sunset, so if I burn at sunrise, is that sunrise or sunset? If I burned there, yeah, you see it takes my apoapsis inwards, so exactly as the math said it would be. Now the question is, if I set this as my target, how close am I going to be coming to it? Yeah, closest approach is what I really need to see. And the question also is, so I need to burn for 3 minutes and 40 seconds. That might actually be doable. question is, how circular is this orbit? Am I hitting it flat enough? It looks like I'm reasonably good. Let's see. I wish there was an easier way to tell exactly where I am relative to where I need to be. Let's see if I eccentricize my orbit a little. This is just curiosity. See, I've never planned a... I think it's going to be my departure window. Let me see. Let's measure this angle. Unset target. So the angle between the sun, that's 0. So if that's 0, that's 90 degrees. Oh, we're not close enough. So that's a 90-degree angle. Well, okay, so we're not at the right angle right now for Jewel. Or for Duna. For Eve. So let's try the outer orbit. Let's try the Duna orbit. Too far. My gut feeling is we're not going to be in the right place for that one either, but are we closer? I see. Ascending, descending node. Ascending node. It doesn't tell me much of anything useful there, does it? Oh, hello. That's actually not a bad approach, all things considered. The question is, do I wait or do I adjust my angle of approach a little so that I arrive at a different time? That's not bad. Let's see. That's a large separation. So the question is, am I getting closer by doing this? Possibly. In fact, possibly a lot closer. The only catch is it's going to take me more energy to do it. Let me see. So the other way to do it, obviously I'm very close to being at the right place for the departure. Let's see if I tick that around the planet a little differently. So we're gonna miss it right now. Okay. But that's got a decent shot. The part I don't know, this is the part I really don't know, is whether or not if I wait a few orbits, if I will get closer. Let's see if I go at it faster. So obviously, that's the optimal burn time, if you know what you're doing. You leave there. It's the most likely. Pull that down a little. Are we getting closer? 5 million. $6 million, so that's further. 5 million. Interesting. It's not getting any closer. This is just, I'm not going to run these flights for obvious reasons. This is a nutso way to do this. Oh, maybe it's not. That just managed to get it a lot closer, didn't it? So if I do that and then drop my... Oh. Question is, how much more fuel is this costing me? You see, this is not a efficient orbit is the problem. The most efficient burn, according to all the tutorials that I've read, which are not extensive, but a few, is you burn like so. And that gives us a 3.5 minute burn. So theoretically the most efficient burn. So I'll be arriving there too late, which means if I leave later, yeah, I'll be late, which means I'm definitely not getting there in time. So if I change my angle of ejection a little, do I get closer or further? I'm missing by more. So if I leave earlier, and increase that a little, I just don't know if it makes a difference with how... No, it doesn't make a difference. So the question is, which one is going to be in conjunction sooner? Eve or Duna? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to save this game and I'm going to look this up. So excuse me for a moment and I will be right back.